Welcome to the MS&Me Radio Network. The broadcast shows are for informational and entertainment purposes only. They are not designed to provide listeners with specific personal, medical, or counseling advice. Individuals with a medical issue should always consult their healthcare provider. MS&Me is not responsible for content of individual shows. The views expressed by show hosts or their guests are their own. Enjoy the show.
Hey y'all, and welcome to Straight Up with MS and all its crazy little circles here on MS&Me Radio, brought to you by the MS Global Support Network. I'm your host, Patty Long, and you can find me at MS in It for Life, and I spell that MENIT, the number 4, LIFE. And this is a lifelong disease. We cannot be cured by bee stings or diets or any of the other crazy stuff that you get bombarded with. You know, we were talking the other day online about how aggravating it can be when people we know who are family or friends say, "Oh, I heard this diet will cure you," or "I heard if you do this and this and this, you will be cured." Well, you know what? That is not true. There is no cure. Antibiotics don't work, so don't go asking your doc for a bunch of antibiotics, because that's not a cure. That is a fake cure. And people are trying to scam us. And don't be scammed. Don't be a victim to that. Essential oils, I hear great things about essential oils from people with MS. Now, I've never used them, but they don't cure you. So they may help your symptoms. Just like I use this stuff called defining gel from It Works, and my defining gel stops my crazy itch that there's nothing there, but I itch. And that is a symptom that we have sometimes from MS, and is a symptom that is caused by our central nervous system, but affecting our peripheral nervous system, and so we itch. And a lot of people say they can put ice on it to make it stop. And I've never tried the ice because, well, I have this big, huge cold intolerance and temperature change intolerance. So you touch me with an ice cube and I turn into a popsicle. And it doesn't matter if you just touch one spot, just a little, I will still turn into a popsicle. So I don't use ice. I use this gel, and it's a thick gel. And I think what it's all about is trying to change the sensation from the itching to something else. So maybe ice works for you, maybe it doesn't. Maybe a gel will work for you, maybe it won't. I've even used deodorant, like a thick solid deodorant to put on those itchy spots, and that has worked. So changing that sensation that you have from itching to something else is what we want to do. It just makes sense, because our signals are wonky. So we want to change what its wonky feeling is and make it into something else. And finding that something else is not always the easiest, and it can be different because, like I said, I can't use ice, so I use gel. And maybe somebody else thinks the gel feels yucky, and it just changes the feeling into something yucky, and you can't use gel. So everybody has to find their own thing. And but those are a couple of things that you can try. The ice, a thick gel, which I use the defining gel because it's really good for your skin. And I like the effects of it with my skin because I have really dry skin. So the defining gel is what I use. But ice, deodorant, anything that will change that sensation. And here it is, March. And I'm so excited. Oh, I'm so excited. I'm getting ready to go on vacation, y'all. I am going to Florida for 3 whole days. I will be in Orlando. And, I'm going there for a purpose, which I'll tell you about when I get back, because we'll see what happens when I get there. So that'll be for another time. But for right now, it is March. And March is MS Awareness Month. So what I do for my MS awareness is very local, other than my radio show, which goes everywhere, because we're a global station, right? Which I just still can't get over the fact that we're going all around the world and being translated and to different languages and things. So, but for MS Awareness Month, I'm going to try to talk to more and more people about MS. And while I'm in Florida, I have a whole bunch of new people that I get to tell about MS. So I'm excited that I can spread the word of MS and multiple sclerosis and tell more people what it really is, and that you can't tell that I have MS by looking at me. You can't tell who it is and who it isn't. It just is a disease that you can't see on the outside. We look fine, and that's a problem that, has been online a lot. That whole, well, you don't look sick. And we don't necessarily look sick, but yet we are. And family doesn't get it. Friends don't get it, and how can they? They don't have it. And I'm a big fan of Supernatural. I don't know if you guys watch that show or not, but I love it. Sam and Dean, they're just great characters, and the actors are awesome. They have all these crazy looks between each other, and all the characters really are really, really good. I love it. And in the 4th season, I think it was, that Sam is telling Dean, he says, "You don't understand. You'll never understand. You can't understand. How could you? You don't have demon blood running through your veins." And I heard him say this in season 4 when I was watching on Netflix, and I thought, oh my gosh, okay, my demons are MS. That is what's running through my veins that people cannot see and cannot understand. And, it is what it is. And we have to be happy with who we are. And we have to learn to accept the help from people. And we have to learn that they're never, ever going to truly get it because they don't have it. So I have told people that it's fine if they don't get it. It's absolutely fine. And I've told my husband this because he does not get it. And I've told him, it's fine that you don't get it because you don't have it. So you don't have to get it. I'm the one that has to get it. I'm the one that has to understand. And I'm the one that has to do what I have to do to be my best. And he can either be on board and help me do that, or he can stay in the dark and be oblivious and stay, out there away from me and let me be so I can do my thing. And so far he's been just letting me be so I can do my thing. And I'm going on 6 years, guys. No, I'm going on 7 years. I've made it past 6 years. Lord, where is my brain today? I do not know. But the birds are singing and I'm going on vacation, so I'm probably like really hyper. And I've got my daughter's family here, and she's got 2 little ones, a 4-year-old and a 5-year-old, and I love them to death. But yeah, they're making me a little tired and nuts and all of that good stuff like kids would do. And I'm not kicking them out of my house because I'm tired. I'm not kicking them out of my house because it gets loud. I will settle that by going somewhere that is quiet enough for me, or by hiding out, or whatever I need to do, because I am not any good to anybody if I don't take care of me. And the only one that can take care of me is me. And you might be in the same boat, and I don't know. There's a lot of people out there who have MS who also have little children. And during our MS Awareness Month this month, talking to kids is a good idea as well. But how do you tell a child, right? So what I have been doing for the past 3 years, 2 years, however long it's been, has been telling my grandchildren that my muscles are little and weak and they haven't got enough strength. And I just tell them that it's my muscles. And they can understand what muscles are because, they want to get big muscles. Everybody wants big muscles. And so I'll show them that I don't have big muscles anymore. And that Mommy and Daddy do, but not me, Ma. And me, Ma, just can't pick you up because, well, my muscles are broke. And they get that. Even at their ages, they understand that my muscles are broken. And that's all that they need to know. It's at their level of comprehension. And we want to keep things at a child's level of comprehension. So I can tell them my muscles don't feel good and I don't want to break them. And, oh no, I can't do anything with my arm anymore because I broke my muscle. So they get that. And, I wear these headbands, and my littlest one, she'll touch the headband, and the older one will touch my headband. And then they'll go, "Is your head broken still, me, Ma? I'll make it better." And they'll give me kisses. And I think that is so, so sweet. Of course, my head's not really broken, but they know that phrase. So that's what their understanding is. And I'm also going to be talking to people all over the place, everywhere I go, like I normally do, because I'm loud and proud, and I don't mind sharing what MS is. And that is how I raise awareness. And I usually tell people about MS because they see me dancing in a line because I can't stand still. If I'm trying to stand still, I'm going to fall. My legs won't hold me in a still position for very long. I crumble. So, I kind of dance in place. And people start looking at me weird. So I'll start telling them, well, I have MS and, it makes it really hard to do this. And MS is neurological and there is no cure. And you know what? I've had people even let me go in front of them in long lines because they can tell that I am struggling within the line. And I won't have but a couple of things because I don't really shop for a bunch of stuff at once. I get 2 or 3 things. And my husband is really good about going and getting groceries and all of that. So I have had to get him to start buying more fruit and more fresh vegetables because he is on a diet of his own, which is a carb-free diet. And so he doesn't want these fruits. He doesn't want the vegetables and things because of the sugars in them, which worries me because, everybody needs fruits and vegetables. But I will let him do his thing because he's letting me do mine. And I won't say a word because he's not saying a word. He thinks it's crazy when I get out here and do my exercises and call it exercise. Because to him, what I do is an exercise, But he doesn't have problems with his brain and muscles connecting, or his spine and muscles. And when you have spinal lesions and brain lesions and they have affected you in the ways they've affected us, then people don't really understand, especially since 1 minute you can, and like 1 minute I can pick up my coffee cup and drink it, and then the next minute maybe I spill it when I try and pick it up because my hand shakes or something. And no, I'm not spilling my coffee on purpose. Come on, really? So, we want people to understand these things. We want them to understand that, no, I pick up things in my fingers usually because it's easier for me than forks and knives. But I do use forks and knives again a little bit. But my knife isn't a real knife. My knife is a pizza cutter. And it's a plastic one at that, so that I don't roll over my fingers and cut my fingers off. So, finding things like that is helpful. And I'm going to stick that video up on YouTube and on my Twitter feed because I think it's really cool. My granddaughter took the video of me cutting her fruit up with a plastic wheel pizza cutter. And I've been looking and looking and looking on how to find these, and it seems like the only way to find the plastic ones that, like what I have, is if you buy 100 of them. And I don't need 100 of them. I need 1 or 2 more. So I got to look a little harder to find that 1 or 2 more. And I was thinking maybe I should buy the 100 of them and have them print on it about MS. And I don't know. Maybe I'll give out pizza cutters one day for people with MS to use as knives. But that is a good alternative if you have trouble with a knife. I do suggest the plastic ones, though, because the plastic wheels are much easier to do. It's all in a wheel. It doesn't have a handle on it, so you're actually holding it above the cutting part, and it's a wheel, and it just spins and cuts. So, it makes my life so much simpler. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to find those ways for us so that we can do our normal activities. Because, like when I couldn't cook anymore, and couldn't take care of my family anymore, can't take care of my house anymore, and all of this, I felt worthless. And you know what, guys? I'm not worthless, and neither are you. Your worth is not, your value is not in just those chores or your job. Your value is so much greater than that, and your family knows this. Even if they don't always show it, they know this. And it's frustrating for them, just like it's frustrating for us, because they're watching us and they don't know what to do. And sometimes it's easier for them to think it's all fake than it is for them to believe the truth, And they're taking the easy way out because they can, and we can't take that easy way out. We have to believe because we have the disease and we know what's happening. And spreading that truth is what MS Awareness Month is about, because there is so much out there that is just plain nonsense. And I repeat, nonsense. I mean, we cannot be cured by diets. We cannot be cured by bee stings. We cannot be cured by gels. We cannot be cured by oils. We cannot be cured by antibiotics. We cannot be cured by marijuana. Okay? Those things may or may not help you to feel better, but they are not cures. And your diet needs to be special just for you. My diet would be no good for a lot of people, but it's great for me. And the same is true of other people. Their diet is great for them, but probably wouldn't be so great for me. I need caffeine, I need sugar, And a lot of people go sugar-free because they need to lose weight, like my husband is. And that's fine. And that's awesome. And I commend anybody who is trying to lose weight, because losing weight and losing those extra pounds we have helps us a whole lot. If you think about it like this, you go to Walmart or somewhere and you get a big old 50-pound bag of dog food and you throw it over your shoulder and you carry it around and you carry it around and you do all your shopping. And Walmart's a pretty big store, y'all. So it's like Tesco in the UK. And you just, I mean, it's huge, right? So you walk around this huge store with this 50-pound weight on your shoulders. Now, you're going to get more tired and more tired and more tired. Anybody would. And this is another good way to explain MS too, because at the end, when they get to the register and they set that 50-pound bag of dog food down, they're going to go, whew, and they're going to feel better, right? They're going to feel better because they set that weight down. And that's how much better we feel if we lose the extra pounds that we're carrying. But that's also how we feel even if we're not carrying extra pounds, because it feels like we are. You know, my legs are heavy. So that extra weight makes a difference. And I honestly can't say that the keto diet or any of those are extra great for MS. People have success on them, but then other people do not. So pay attention when you're eating and figure out what things make you feel good, what things make you feel sluggish. Because I can eat, you know, certain meals and then it's like, oh my gosh, I can't hardly move. and it's the food, you know. And so I've learned not to eat those things. I don't eat fried food. I don't eat, and that's partly because of a hiatal hernia, and I don't need that acting up. But I don't eat fried food. I don't eat anything that sits heavy in my belly. If it feels heavy in my belly, then it's going to feel heavy throughout my entire body. So I don't eat those foods. And a lot of people call those comfort foods, but they're not comfortable to me. You know, they just make me feel weighed down and heavy and tired and unable to stay awake. So I don't eat them. And instead I eat the stuff that gives me energy. And that's, you know, finding these things and then telling people that, no, that's not a cure. No, that's not a cure. No, that's not a cure. No, no, no. That gets old. So let's tell them that MS does not have a cure and spread that word this month. We need a cure, people. We need money and we need understanding and we need things to help us right now, like my little pizza cutter, you know, and we need these things that will help us today while we're waiting on the cure. And one of the things you could do for me is let me break in line so that I don't have to stand there in a long line. Or maybe you can let me sit in the car while you do the shopping because it's a huge store and I don't think I have the energy to walk that far that day. Or maybe it's you could help me so much just by giving me a hug. Give me a hug. I want a hug. And we have to tell people what we need. And that includes the public. You know, we have to tell them about MS, and we have to tell them ways they can help us, whether it is donating so that we can raise money and all that and put it to a good use, whether it is a free clinic or whether it is for research or whether it is for things to make our lives easier. Or whether it is for the big things that we need, like a wheelchair that you can also use as a walker, I still need to find that video because I've got some friends really interested in that video. And I have a friend who says she can't use a chair that is not a power chair because she'll go in circles. And that sounds like me too, because when they were telling me chair, 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 I wouldn't have been able to go anywhere. But if I had been able to go anywhere, I probably would have gone in a circle because I wouldn't have been able to push the wheel with one hand, and it would have taken two. So I probably would have gone in circles. And that's no way to go. And she's got one arm that's weak and one arm that's strong. So I'm going to see if I can find a solution for these things. And so during the month of March, I'm going to be looking for things out there that can assist us in our daily lives every single day, every day, throughout the year, help us to be better and to do more. And that's what I'm going to do for the month of March. I'm going to try to spread the word that MS is real and what it is. You know, it's a neurological disease. Actually, it's a neuromuscular disease if you ask therapist. But anything neurological that is your central nervous system is going to affect your muscles. It's going to affect every part of you. Like I'm circling today because I'm kind of tired. You know, I've got these kids here and they've been here for 2.5, almost 3 weeks. And I'm getting worn out. But you know what? It's a happy worn out because I love them and they bring me smiles and laughter all the time. And I spend part of my day sitting outside or sitting in my room and part of my day hanging out with them playing and or cooking them French toast, which is the one thing that I can make. And since I can't do so well mixing my stuff up in a bowl, I put it in a mason jar and we shake, shake, shake. And that makes it an exercise, right? Because we're shaking it. But I'm going to try and find things that will help those of us with MS to live an easier life and have a better quality of life and see what I can do on that end and help us now. And then spread the word more about what MS is and that it is neurological. Yes, it's in my head. It is in my spine. It is all throughout my central nervous system. And that's what I'm planning on doing. And then maybe I can find a walk for MS because I don't think there's one that's too local, but maybe a town or two over. So I will find a walk for MS and participate in that this year. So that's what I'm doing for March. What are you guys going to do? Oh my gosh, my time is up, of course. And I've just been rambling through this whole episode. I'm sorry, y'all. I am tired. And it is early in the morning. So, till next time, y'all, smile big. Smile often. Laugh a whole lot. And be silly and crazy. And most importantly, love yourself, your whole self, every bit of you, including your wacky, messed up parts. Bye.